and welcome along and welcome back to This Is Ireland. We are on day 3 of seasons. Of course, we're many episodes into this series, but we started our seasons play last time, and yeah, we are heading up to the shop because our sheep have run out of hay bales, and it'll be a few more days before the grass is growing and they can be feeding on that. So we need to go and get another supply of hay bales for them. We also need to actually get field 31 planted with grass today. So that will then mean that field 31 replaces field 34. And as we said when we were initially setting things up on this map, the reason for that switch, and we actually showed it in a harvest that we did, is that field 31 has that fence around it. We can't get our combine into it easily, whereas field 34 is completely open. They're very similar field sizes, so we're going to go we're switching those two. So we're going to put grass in field 34. Means that we have two grass fields that we can then work with. And then the other thing we need to do today is probably have a quick look at our horses and see how they're doing as well. It's the first time that we've got a livery payment overnight. We got 1,200 for the livery of the horses we have, because horses, of course, work slightly differently in seasons. So we'll go and have a look at them and see how they're doing. I also want to pick up 2 more horses, because we're picking up 2 horses every game day on here in order to keep those going and keep them bringing in more and more money, which is something we need. And actually, I'm looking at the way horses are working on here and going, I need to put them in more of my stuff, because if they're bringing in a decent amount of money every day, they're a really useful asset to have on the farm. Right, so I've rambled enough to get us up to the shop. So we're just going to turn this around here. We're going to grab 8 hay bales. And one thing I do love about this legal trailer is it stays nice and flat when you are when you drop it off the vehicle, off the piece of equipment you're towing it with. So that's rather useful. So we want pallets, we want bales, we want 8 square hay bales. So we'll grab 8 of these. There we go. Buy that. Not going to cost us much. 5,200. We are easily going to make that in wool. So that's really good. And it's yeah, we're also running. So I've also decided all my seasons let's plays. So on here for this let's play on our seasons from scratch series that we're doing on Felsbrunn, we're going to run those at 15 times, and what that should mean is that each episode of these series is now a complete day, because I normally record for about an hour to create a sort of a 20 to 30 minute video. So yeah, that's what we're going to do from now on. So you should see an entire day in seasons on each of these videos, which is I think is going to be pretty good. It's going to be a great way for us to go with this, and yeah, so it will also keep us on our toes. You know, we have enough fields and everything to keep us going for this kind of thing. So yeah, that is the way we're going to go with this. Let's get these on. So load up these bales like so. There we are. So just 4 more to get on. So these will keep us going for a few days. This should mean that it's also an emergency rations type of thing. If we find our sheep are getting a little bit low, then we're in the position where we can sort them out and make sure that they have enough feed. I'm also gonna put the water pump in today, I think. So we'll add the water pump to the sheep trough. That means they will always have water, and we won't lose any sheep to that. We, of course, do have a lambing season coming up soon as well. So I'm hoping our sheep herd is going to increase. It already increased a little bit before we put seasons in. We had 102 sheep in. We, of course, have now got the Dorsets in here to do that. And to produce wool. Right, last set of bales. There we go. And get these loaded on the other side. And then we're going to get this back down to our farm. So, round we come. Up and on. And hook it back up, and then we'll do our straps up and get this back down to our sheep field. There we go. Out we pop. Now you can do these up all, of course, from inside the vehicle, but I like the realism of going on just strapping the ones I want to strap. Okay, so away we go, back down to our farm. Approaching our sheep field now, and it's quite yeah, we're gonna have to pull over to the side here because we've got quite a long and difficult to turn trailer. It also swings out at the back quite a bit while you're turning, so you got to take that into account. Even when you're taking this wide, you have to take that into account. And you can see I'm trying not to hit, which I have done. I'm trying not to catch the hedge over there. So yeah. We're going to have to get it past it and then swing in tightly like that. But that's all good. So we're going to take this over this way. We'll close the gate so none of our sheep escape. Now I kind of wonder if this pond here is somewhere where we can fill up water. But as I said earlier, we're going to go and attach the pump to the sheep trough before we leave. We also have a stack of bales in this field. I have no idea why they're here. I think they came on the map like that, but it's an interesting little thing to have those there. Right, that is off. Let's unfold our spike, and then we can get all of our bales into this shed here, which will be which should be enough cover for them. It means we shouldn't run out or shouldn't have an issue. We probably need to go and check on our pallets of wool again. Whoa. Downhill is not a great way for unloading bales ever, really. But yeah, we leave our water tanker in here normally, along with a few hay bales, just to make sure that we have enough to keep the sheep going. They don't tend to come near them because they have plenty of grass to eat otherwise. There we go. Round and in. Down. So sheep seem to be a pretty good. I'm actually really impressed with the animals in season so far. I haven't done anything with the cows yet. They're the one set of animals I haven't touched yet in seasons. But what I'm finding impressive about the animals is in previous versions of seasons it was quite difficult to get the animals going early on in the game. But because Farm Sim now has the ability to purchase bales like this, you immediately have a way of getting feed for your animals. Wow, that is so far wrong. It's unbelievable. So you now have ability to get feed for your animals. You have the ability to sort of get your animals working from day one. And as we're seeing with the horses and with the sheep, and the chickens, and we're about to find out, I think, on the realism experiment with the pigs. Animals are now something that is a great way of continually getting cash in over the year, of continually making money, and become an integral part of whatever season setup you're doing, in order to just keep things going, to keep everything on the up and up, and making sure that you are keeping your farm in the black the whole time. So I'm intrigued to see how this goes on all the series that I'm doing, and actually series going forwards, because I think it's always going to be an interesting thing to do with this. The grass is growing rather nicely in this field now, so I think these are unnecessary hay bales for now. Because they're undercover, we'll be able to keep them for a long time. So if the sheep ever do run out of grass in here, then what we're going to be able to do is to get them fed while the grass rejuvenates and recovers. That again is incredibly on the wonk. Right, so there we go. That's got that. And that is our hay bales unloaded. So 8 hay bales. Absolutely perfect. That is what we wanted. So I'll fold that up again. Hook this back up. I don't think we need the lights on at this point. Well, it's a cloudy day, but it's not a rainy one or anything like that. We are in the middle of spring, so that's good. We want to check on our crops in a bit. I know we've got a few patches that have failed to germinate in field 34, which I love. I think is an absolutely brilliant thing. Right, so here is our water trough, and we are going to add in, which I think is under miscellaneous here, if I'm right. There should be. Oh, and actually, it might be under animal pens. Yes, there it is. Water pump. So that is our main farm. We want to head over here. There we go. And we just want to put our water pump in at one end of this. I quite like the idea of putting it in an angle. But what we'll do is we will turn it. And we'll turn it this way. And just pump in at this end. Like so. There we go. Now what that will do is that will keep our the water for our sheep. In fact, you can see it filling it up now. That keeps the water for our sheep at 15% at all times. So if we go in and have a look, the sheep water is now at 241 litres. But they're all happy and healthy and great. So that's all good. We'll have a quick look at our horses as well while we're here. Yeah, they're all looking fine and healthy. So that's great. They do need some oats, and we could go and buy some oats. But right now, I want to get our field over in 31. I want to get that planted. So that's going to be our next job. Here we are, backing up to our Amazon cedar here, our Amazon condor. We want to switch that to grass. There we go. So this will fertilize as well. I don't think it's going to take much grass or fertilizer, so I'm not going to bother filling up. And because Class got announced at FarmCon as coming in the Platinum Edition later this year, we're going to use our Class Antilles for this job. So, which has its extra thing in here. So this is the last tractor that Renault produced, and yeah, that got taken over by Class and rebranded as one of theirs. It's rather an interesting tractor. Now we should be able to get this planter in here. I don't think we had so much trouble getting the combine in here that it's just not a field that is worth doing for us. Now I think this is a direct seeder. I just want to double check that. If it is, that is all great. Let's have a look in our here. In addition to the possibilities, seed directly. So yeah, this is why we got this this seeder. I think this tractor, can this tractor handle this actually? Is a really good question. I think it should be fine. I think it's only marginally over. So this requires 270 horsepower and our Class has 250. So we're about 20 horsepower short, but we're not doing any large... wow. Yeah, this is why this field is going to grass. Because getting any equipment into it is a pain. Right, we'll close the gate behind us. Now, grass should be fine for us to plant at this time of year. If we have a look at seasons, grass basically can be planted at any time of year and harvested from day 3 onwards. It germinates at 3 degrees C, so yeah. This is why the grass is coming up. We're actually looking really soon at probably trying to cut some grass, I think. Right, so let's fold this out. Like so. I'm going to start in this corner here. Actually, I think we'll start down the side here. It's a big seeder for such a little field. Right, there we are. Right, and then we want to set our first point, turn it on, drop it down, and away we go. And you can see that this is, I think this is harvested at the moment. Yeah, we should be okay here, and then stop there. That has got our course. Lift it up and see if we can set ourselves for our next one. Yep, there we go. Right, that is too thin. So auto width it. We set offset back. We're going to need our guides up for this. There we go. So there are our guides. Let's check it against our bit here, and we're going to move it back over so that we line up with our actual first point. Yeah, we want to get straightened right up. There we go. And back it off. Yeah, we'll break the GPS so that we can back this up properly. And back it right up. There we go. Line up. Down we go, and away we go. And actually, we're all right with the width. We'll just go in here, auto width. Yeah, 15 meters is its actual width. And we set the offset. Bring that back across, and there we go. Perfect. So this should mean that we now get this planted in no time, which is absolutely brilliant. Coming up to the end of the field, we've just got this little bit to go here, and then the headlands. So bring it up to the edge here, and there we are. So reverse that up. It's quite difficult sometimes to get the turn in, especially on these diagonal bits. We're all good. My idea for the headland is that we're gonna go all the way around it from the gateway. Yeah, that is not in the middle. Can we get this? No, we can't reverse it up where I want to. So we need to get lined up on here and then reverse up to get this last little bit. Yeah, that's working. Like so. And then just get this little bit here. There we go. Right, and then we're going to head to the gateway, because this should get this corner, I think. Yeah, we should be able to get around this whole field. Absolutely fine with this now. And just get the headlands done. So we'll start at the gateway here. We'll turn off our lines. There we go. Drop this down. And away we go around the headlands. And we should have left enough space around the edges here to get this in and to be able to follow this field round. Like so. I want to back up into that corner, because obviously we didn't get all of that just then. There we go. And yeah, I want to make sure that this field gets covered as much as possible with grass. It's interesting. I don't know how the weeds work in grass in seasons, because obviously the weeds, well, actually how weeds work in grass in general. Whoa. Right, so we are going to have to do a couple of runs on this corner. I left a little bit more than I meant to. So drop that down there, bring that across, and just catch that. There we go. And then we can back into the corner here and just finish this off. Like so. And that then takes us up the hill. And this class actually is dealing with it. This is a fairly gentle slope. And we're not really noticing the loss of horsepower that much. The sort of the missing 20 horsepower we need to run this seeder. Or we should really have ideally to run this seeder. It's not running overly slow or anything like that. I've not noticed it struggle particularly, which has been pretty good. I'm quite happy with this tractor on this seeder. I think if I was on a really hilly bit, I would have more of a problem. Yeah, we've left a little bit more at the top of this field than this seeder can handle. So we'll bring it across here and then just seed that top bit. Lots of grass. Lots of grass. There we go. And we'll seed across here. And that is actually a really good coverage on this field. A little patch there maybe, but otherwise good. We'll go up to the corner here because this is trying to pull this seed around this corner is massively unrealistic. So we'll pull this up to here, reverse our way around, and then we can maneuver ourselves into a much better position. We have 31 litres of fertiliser left here. I'm really, really hoping that's enough to get us to our gateway. I would hate to run out of fertiliser just before we finish this field off. It is going to be close. It's going to be massively close. Oh, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That was absolutely perfect on the fertiliser. I'm very, very happy with that. But we have got this field seeded now. So we're going to go and put this equipment back in our yard because we actually have no use for this again for a long while now. Not until the autumn probably. We might put in some winter wheat after the harvest this year. But yeah, I'm really pleased that has worked well. So we'll head up to the yard now, and we need to move. We've got some pallets of wool we need to move, and then we need to go and get 2 more horses because, of course, we are still on our 2 horses a day. So we've got our little Ford here, our little 6810 with the forks on the back. Now I don't think that this is probably the most efficient way to do this. We probably should get some forks for our telehandler because these aren't the greatest. It takes a little bit of trickery to get the bales onto this and get them off. But I do like using this little 6810 for whatever I can use it for. So yeah, that's why I insist on doing this way. Right, we'll back it on to the other pallet there, and that allows us to pick up. Right, and then lift. And it's not great on there, but it's not horrible either. So we'll put this with our other set of bales on this side here, and hopefully we can get these off because they are on here at a horrible angle at the moment. Right, there we go. So down we go, and hopefully there we are. Then just push them back against the wall like so. So that's 5 full bales, 6 full cages of wool. So we want to keep an eye out at the spinnery and hopefully get a great demand. We're not in a position yet where we're having to overly worry about this, but I'm hoping that by the end of the first year on our farm, we're making a decent amount of profit. Because yeah, if we can get anywhere near the 5 million that we initially invested in this farm, then that would be fantastic. But that is absolutely what I want to really get from this series. You know, whether it's a start from scratch series or anything else, I'm really looking to get a return on my investment. Right, that's as far down as that will go. Yeah, there we go. So we'll just lay it off the bales, and then we can just push them back like this very carefully. There we go. Right, we're going to put our little Ford back and go and grab our Land Rover and head down and get a couple more horses. Oh, wow. So I've got my Land Rover, and it's rather interesting because I've not noticed this before. Have we? We're going to have to chop this. I've not noticed that is that overgrown before. Have we? Don't think Seasons makes tree branches full. But yeah, we're going to have to get a chainsaw. I think next time what we'll do is we'll get a chainsaw and we'll deal with these rogue branches down this side here. Because it's very much a job that we do need to do. And I'm looking at our field here and hoping that this is still nice and healthy. I'm not noticing any issues. The ground is warming up slowly. But yeah, I'm very nervous with how early we've planted in Seasons. We'll see what effect it has on crop. But certainly, I think we're all right. I think we're all right. We've got their resistance to frost for the seeds is actually medium for all the crops that we've got. Right, into our horse area. And I'm of course going to have to pick 2 more patrons to name our next 2 liveried horses after. And I have to say, I really, really love how horses work in Seasons. It's not the whole wait 10 full days for them to pay off. It is absolutely that they pay every day if you maintain them right. Admittedly, I am using the horse helper mod, which thankfully seems to work with Seasons quite nicely. But we do still have to take care of them. So I'm going to get this down to the animal market, and we're going to go and pick up 2 more horses to do some work with. Here we are down at the livestock market and into here. And I'm still kind of learning what the different horse setups are. Also, at some point, I'm going to have to try carting bales on this roof, because I think the roof. Did he put? I know he's not put straps on the roof. I don't think. No, we've not got straps on the roof for this. That would be a good thing. I think when I eventually get round to doing my Land Rover, I am going to have the ability to strap stuff on the roof. I don't know if JD Man has built a roof rack on it, but we shall see. Right, so let's load ourselves in. Ooh, nope, we've got to do this in here. Yeah, we're not in the right place. There we go. Right, we can go and load this in now. So, let's find ourselves some horses. So, we have a choice between an Andalusian, a paint, a halflinger, a quarter horse, a thoroughbred, a black Arabian, a Tennessee walking horse, and a Morgan. And I think we have at the moment... What do we have at the moment? Lots of sheep. We have... It doesn't actually tell me the type of horse. But we do have 4 decent horses here. And you can see the amount of money each of those is bringing in, which is good. We do need to give them some more straw in the near future as well. So we got those 4. Okay. So I am going to go with a Morgan, because we don't have a Morgan. And we have a black Arabian. We have a thoroughbred. I don't think we have a Tennessee walking horse, so I'm going to grab a Tennessee walking horse as well. The wonderful thing about horses in Seasons, they don't cost you anything. You can't sell them for anything or anything like that. You just look after them. It is purely a livery setup. So close that up and let's get these two back to our stables. So sort of thinking about that, yeah, a great way to make money in seasons is do horses and get the horse helper mod, and it's money every day coming into you, which is quite cool. It does, I think, I'm trying to remember if the horse helper mod actually costs you money. I'm kind of hoping it does, because it's one of those things which would make sense. So we got Oni and Midnight. We're going to move those across and confirm that. And then we're going to go and name our two horses. So let's head into here. So they were called Oni and Midnight. So the next two people on my list from this month's patrons are Martin Legge and Jørgen Andersen, both long-time patrons. So yeah, we're gonna rename our first one. I think we're gonna go with Legge, because of the different coloured legs, and then Midnight. I've got to go with Jørgen, even though I'm gonna have great trouble spelling this. So I'm gonna try and copy and paste it in, which I can't do. So I think he once told me that I can do it that way. No, I think it's OE. So Jørgen, you will have to tell me if that's the wrong way to do it. But yeah, there we go. There we are. So we've got our two new horses in, and there we go. So back we are, and there are our horses. So we've got a good set of horses in here now. I'm really happy with that. We do need to get a tractor down here at some point and get them their straw sorted. But we'll probably start the next game day with that, I think, which will be the next episode, because that is where we're going to end it today. So all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos and live streams from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.